Good afternoon. My name is Lizbeth Salgado Perez, and today I'm going to present chapter number 4 that is going to talk about teaching writing. Okay, we start with the introduction. Okay, teaching writing chapter number 4. Why is important to learn how to write? Madrid and McLaren note the following reasons. A reasonable level of proficiency in any language implies a level of competence both in oral and writing skills. Writing practice reinforces oral proficiency. In real life, students will need some proficiency in writing. These are some important aspects they mention about writing. Why it's important to write. Um, According to Hay, there are 6 categories in writing. One of these is personal writing, social writing, study writing, public writing, creative writing, and institutional writing. In this chapter are mentioned the differences between writing and spoken. They are obviously a match or join, but there are also differences between the process of learning. Okay, the first one is permanence, explicitness, density, detachment, organization, slowness of production, speed of reception, standard language, a learned skill, and share amount and importance. These are some differences they expressed between spoken and writing. Here I'm going to mention some points I think are important in writing and in the difference between writing and reading. Writing is often a private activity which is undertaken in isolation without the presence of other people. And speaking is usually a public activity insofar as other people are present and available to give feedback. Speech is more important for survival and effective functioning in society than writing. According to McDonald and Shaw, they mention 3 headings. These headings are controlled sentences, free composition, and the homework function. And according to Rain, he presents this diagram with the steps of the parts important to make up a writing production. In this are mentioned the content, the writer process, the audience, the purpose, the word choice, the organization, mechanism, grammar, and the syntax as important points to take in mind when we're going to start writing something. In this chapter are mentioned two important aspects. The first one is the audience. When writing a text, it's very important to define who will reading the text. It means that it's very important to take in mind who is going to be the public or the audience to read what we're going to write. Okay, the other point is negotiation of meaning. It means that not everyone going to understand what you want to say in your writing. That's why it's important to define who's going to read the writing, okay? The other point is the feedback. If they say that it is necessary to remind ourselves that errors are not an aberration, but a constructive step in the learning process, because in language learning, for a long time, it was considered a priority to avoid errors, and when they occur, to stamp them out. It means that errors are not bad. What we have to do as a teacher is not to um, remark like as something bad, contrary, we must help students to understand the mistake and try to they improve or learn when where how to make the corrections. The other point is should be available in all stages of writing. It means that in the process of writing, the feedback is key in the process of writing, and it can be possible to apply it in every of the stages. The feedback process is divided into formative and summative. And finally, I'm going to explain a little bit how I will develop a small lesson plan where students have to write something as a product, okay? Lesson plan is the product is going to be a supermarket list. First, students going to answer the questions. Have you ever go to the supermarket? What do you usually buy? After they answer and share this information is in the classroom, students will look at some images with different ingredients for make a sandwich. A student will match some measurements with the pictures, then they will check together if the match is correctly and why, and the different kind of measurement that I use, like package, a, a slide, a quarter. Okay, and students will look at supermarket lists and identify the products. Students will write a supermarket list for doing a sandwich. They must write the quantities of what they want. And the students will write it as the supermarket list in the not in their not